Welcome back to another high protein, high fiber meal prep. You guys have been loving this content, and honestly, I've been loving putting it out because the food is good. When I tell you I have been having a time in this kitchen putting together these recipes, the simplest ingredients have been changing the game, and with this fiber increase, the body's doing what the body needs to do, okay? Y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Ree. And while I'm at it, why don't you go ahead and click that subscribe button, because I promise you, you're gonna wanna stay. We're jumping right on into this meal prep. I have 4 super quick, easy, and delicious recipes that are gonna help you reach your fiber and protein goals. Summer is right around the corner, okay? So if you're doing it because you have some physique goals that you're trying to reach, or if you're just overall trying to be healthy, mine's a little bit of both. This is the time to really lock in. We are in May. It's a new month, set new goals. Let's go ahead and get these health goals in motion, okay? You guys already know my disclaimer. I am not a professional. I'm not telling you what you need to eat. This is the amount that you need to eat. I'm not saying any of that. All of our bodies are different and have different needs. So please make sure that you are feeding your body enough and listening to your body. If you need larger portions or smaller portions, that's all up to you. My video is just here to give you some creative food inspiration to spice up that meal plan, because healthy eating does not have to be boring or bland. We're getting a little bit of everything in this video, and if you enjoy these types of videos, definitely let me know in the comment section down below, because I will continue to make this a series. Anyway, now that that is all out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into this meal prep. Starting off strong, we are getting into a raspberry baked oatmeal bar with a raspberry chia jam that you're gonna wanna put on everything. You need just a few simple ingredients such as some oats, whole wheat flour, coconut oil, raspberries, chia seeds, and a few other ingredients, but no worries, y'all know where my recipes are down below in the description box. First thing, we need to make the jam. I used about 2 cups of raspberries. You can definitely use fresh raspberries, but I don't go through mine as quickly, so I like to get the frozen ones so that way they don't go bad. You're gonna saute your raspberries in a smaller pan than I'm using, but my caraway pan is just a delight to use, so I've been grabbing for her a lot lately, but this pan realistically is too big. You're gonna heat the berries and mash them up until they're nice and soft, and then follow up with 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. I'm using a half a tablespoon measure, so you're gonna see me scoop 4 times, but trust, we used 2 tablespoons. Give that a good mix, and then from there, you're gonna add about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of water. I added water in increments of a 1/4 cup each time because I was at the time filming this recipe testing. But all in all, I added closer to 3/4 of a cup of water. Just definitely add it in increments. You might need more, you might need less. Go ahead and let that simmer slightly. It should start to turn into a jelly-like texture as the chia seeds are absorbing the liquid. This should take anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes, and once it's done, you'll take it off the heat and allow it to cool. The jam will continue to thicken as it cools. Now, to make the base of the bar, as well as the crumble topping, you're gonna add some oats and whole wheat flour into a large mixing bowl, followed up by some melted coconut oil, some honey, and of course, as much cinnamon as your heart desires, because listen, we season with love on this channel, even the sweet dishes. So y'all know I was going ham. Give it a good mix, and it should start to look very crumbly. Now transfer about 3/4 of the oat mixture into an 8x8 pan. I didn't have one accessible to me at that time, but definitely use an 8x8 pan because I definitely had to make some things work with this one. You could use your hand, a spatula, or the back of a measuring cup to help you pack down the dough. If I didn't mention this before, be sure to grease the pan first. I just used whatever little bit of coconut oil I had left over in my measuring cup, and I just spread it around to make sure that the bar doesn't stick. But you can use spray olive oil or any non-stick cooking spray if that's what you have. Once the bottom layer of the bar is tightly packed, go on ahead and spoon in your jam and spread into an even layer. And once that's done, you're gonna take the remainder of that oat mixture and crumble it all on the top of the bar. Now that you've added the crumble on top, you're gonna bake in the oven at 350 degrees for about 25 to 28 minutes, or until golden brown and your house starts to smell like that warm cinnamon spice. Once you've allowed the bars to cool, go ahead and cut them into your desired shape. Because of the shape of the pan that I use, I had to make these some oatmeal like bars, if you will, but they should technically be squares. But you know what? Tomato, tomato. Cut you a piece, warm them up, and enjoy. One thing I will say is that this recipe is not overly sweet, and that's because I plan to have these with my coffee. But if you prefer a sweeter oatmeal, you can definitely add some honey or raw sugar to your jam mixture. Just customize it to your liking. Next up, we are making one of my all-time favorite recipes. Okay, I've made this in every which way I possibly can. We are making a shrimp Caesar pasta, a protein pasta that is to die for. Actually, to live for, because I'm living for it. I'm here for it. My protein is shrimp. It's a protein and fiber pasta, so it's a perfect balance. You just need a few simple ingredients, some seasoning, some salad dressing, garlic, your protein of choice. I'm using shrimp today, a little bit of lettuce, and some Parmesan cheese. So to start, we're gonna go ahead and season generously our shrimp. I love to use shrimp because I feel like it's such a lean protein and it's very high volume. So you can season with the seasonings I use, or you know your flavor palette. Season with love, just don't over salt them because the salad dressing and the Parmesan cheese is already salty. And then I'm also going to drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil and a squeeze of lemon juice to add a little bit of brightness. Give it a good mix and then set it aside. Now it's time to boil our pasta. I'm adding my pasta to some salted water. I use pink Himalayan sea salt. I feel like it's a little bit saltier than regular salt. Could just be in my mind, but I feel like pink Himalayan sea salt does me right every single time. And I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the pasta as directed on the box, but I think I cooked mine a few moments longer because I don't like mine al dente. I don't want a crunchy pasta. While that's boiling, go ahead and grab your pan. Again, this caraway pan, y'all, she is so good to me. I'm gonna saute my shrimp. They only need about 3 minutes per side. Honestly, 3 minutes on the first side and then maybe 2 minutes. And then I take them off of the stove and let the residual heat cook the shrimp. I just don't want them to get tough and rubbery. Now, this is totally optional. You could definitely buy yourself some croutons, but I had this quarter of a loaf of sour bread that just kept staring at me every time I opened the fridge. So I decided to make my own croutons. So I took three? No, that's four. And I teach math, so oof. I took 4 slices of sourdough bread and I'm gonna go ahead and add them into a large mixing bowl and then season them with spices like garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of smoked paprika, a little bit of black pepper. And then I'm gonna give them a nice drizzle of some olive oil, toss them all together, and then pop them in the air fryer until they're nice and golden brown and crunchy. Now that the pasta is done, I'm gonna go ahead and drain it. I like to rinse my pasta really, really well with some cold water because again, I like to over salt my pasta water. On the Food Network, they always used to say, salt your water so that it's like as salty as the sea. And that has stuck with me. It's done me good my whole life. I'm gonna rinse it and then let it drain so it's not super watery. Then in some meal prep containers, I'm gonna go ahead and divvy up everything across 5 containers. You're only gonna see 4 here on the screen, but there are 5 because I'm going to assemble in live time for you how I like to eat it. You're going to evenly distribute the lettuce, the pasta, the shrimp, and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And then every day as I'm ready to eat them, I will add my salad dressing on the side. If you're worried about the integrity of the food, these lasted in my fridge all 4 days. I literally ate them back to back to back and I never got sick of them. I also stored all of my leftover croutons in a Ziploc baggie. Nothing crazy. You don't have to refrigerate them or anything. Just keep them on the counter. You're straight. Now to assemble in a bowl, I'm just going to add my pasta, some lettuce, a little bit of the Caesar dressing of choice. This is probably my favorite Caesar dressing. It's a light Caesar, but it tastes so good. I'm going to throw in a couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 croutons, and then I'm going to spoon it into a bowl and top it with my shrimp. And y'all, this just never gets old. Like, she is good to me. I mean, look, it's a quick and easy snack. It's a quick and easy lunch, a quick and easy dinner. It's literally so good. Now, you know, I love me a sweet treat. And if you didn't know, now you know. I have made these yogurt barks numerous times on my channel, but you know, now that I'm trying to incorporate more fiber, I'm using different fruit, like some frozen raspberries, not much, whatever was left in my bag, and then some frozen blackberries. You might want to cut them up because they were a little big. And then I also am adding a little bit of some strawberries. I'm pretty sure I did a cup of each fruit. And then I'm going to add in a cup of this Oikos plain Greek yogurt. Please don't use the plain one. I think it's gross. Not, that's not a nice word. I don't think that it's gross, but I prefer a sweet yogurt. So I'm going to follow up with some cinnamon and some honey because I can't do unsweetened yogurt. I just don't like it. If you like the taste of unsweetened yogurt, girl, go for it. Me personally, I think yogurt needs a little bit of sweetness. So I added some honey and of course we seasoned with some cinnamon because you know, we season everything over here. I think that's probably one of my favorite comments that I've gotten on my channel. Somebody left a comment and was like, oh my gosh, you even season your yogurt? Girl, yes, we season everything. Anyway, give it a good mix and then we're gonna go ahead and scoop them into 1/4 cup patties. And you might have to manipulate it a little bit because the fruit is starting to melt, so everything is just kind of all over the place. But this made me 8. You only see 6 here, but that's because I have to do another batch. Now, while those are freezing, I like to let them freeze for a few hours so they're frozen solid. Once they're frozen, go ahead and get you some chocolate. I like to use a mixture of dark chocolate and milk chocolate because I feel like dark chocolate is healthy. And then I'm also going to add a tablespoon of some coconut oil. I'm going to pop it in the microwave and microwave the chocolate in increments of 30 seconds so that I don't burn it, stirring in between. And you should get something that looks like the most luxurious, glossiest, delicious chocolate. And then you're just going to take 2 forks and start dunking your yogurt clusters into the chocolate. Literally, don't let them sit in there because the chocolate is warm. So you want to dip them really quickly. And then as you let them sit out on the counter for a few moments as you're dipping them, the chocolate will harden. That's what I love about the coconut oil because it gives like the magic chocolate shell on the outside. And this is the perfect sweet treat and snack. Lastly, girl, we have a taco skillet. Put everything in one pan, okay? One dish. That's all you get from me. I am going to start by sauteing some red bell pepper and a red onion. Preferably use a yellow onion. This is just what I had on hand, so we use what I had, but preferably a yellow onion. A yellow or a white onion. You're gonna saute that in a little bit of olive oil for about 5 minutes until they start to get nice and translucent. Now that the vegetables are soft, I'm going to follow up with some minced garlic. Okay. I love garlic. If you have time to mince it on your own, good for you. I want to be like you when I grow up, but me, it's coming from a jar and it is okay. I'm going to saute this in right before I add my lean ground turkey. Also, forgive that it's upside down. I don't know how I didn't catch that when I was filming, but you know, it is what it is. So go ahead and add your ground turkey. I like a lean ground turkey and I'm gonna go ahead and crumble it up until it's nice and small and everything is cooked. Now, I'm gonna season my meat mixture. You can definitely use a pre-packaged taco seasoning, but of course, I just figured I would just make my own taco seasoning. So I have that recipe linked down below for you in case you want to use my taco seasoning recipe. So it might look like a lot of seasoning, but there's also almost 2 pounds of meat in here. So we need that seasoning. Go ahead and add all of your seasonings. Definitely, again, customize. This is the time where you can get creative and try new combinations. Again, you are not just restricted to what I'm doing, but this is just what works for me. Once you've gone ahead and well distributed the spices and they're nice and toasty, add in some frozen corn. You can also use canned corn if you like. I don't recommend fresh corn. First of all, I just feel like that's a hassle, but you would also have to cook this much longer. Frozen corn works perfectly. And then for some added fiber, I'm going to add in some black beans. I love a bean, specifically a black bean. Ugh, I just cannot get enough. And then to bring it all together, I'm going to add about a half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of water to the skillet. I add it in a 1/4 cup increments just to not like drown the whole thing, but I definitely used about 3/4 of a cup, which was perfect. And it doesn't make it watery or runny at all. It just helps everything kind of just cook down together. Simmer that for about 20 minutes and then boom, you're ready to go. I like to serve mine with some tortilla chips, but I'm gonna make my own tortilla chips because I still have these high fiber tortillas and we're trying to get all the fiber we can. So I'm going in spraying with a little bit of spray avocado oil, and then I'm seasoning with a little bit of taco seasoning and some Slap Your Mama seasoning. I'm gonna season them generously and then I'm going to cut them into eighths and then we're going to air fry them at 370 degrees for about 6 minutes, somewhere in between, probably at the 3-way mark. Check on them and turn them so that they don't burn. While we're waiting on the tortilla chips to tortilla chip in the air fryer, I'm gonna make a little bit of guacamole. This is the quickest and easiest version of guacamole that I've ever made. You just need a little bit of red onion, some cilantro, a little bit of tomatoes, and your seasonings of choice, and of course, an avocado. As far as seasonings goes for guacamole, I like to keep it very simple. A little bit of salt, garlic powder, cumin. There's something else that I added, red chili flakes, and then also some lime juice. And that's pretty much it. I do feel like salt is important though because avocados don't have any. You need the salt to enhance all the flavors. Then you're going to add everything into a bowl, mix it really, really well, and boom, you have a good chunky avocado. No, a good chunky guacamole. Now, y'all know my favorite part is assembling. I actually made this for me and my man, and he loved it. I'm so glad. I put a layer of the tortilla chips down, a healthy, generous portion of the bean and meat mixture, add some lettuce, some cheese, and then do it all over again with a huge dollop of guacamole. He doesn't like guacamole, but I do, so more for me. And then I'm also going to add a few more chips on the side. And y'all, this was 10 out of 10. Okay, you guys, so that is gonna conclude this week's meal prep video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, drop the heart emoji. Also, let me know what your favorite recipe was. Mine was definitely the shrimp Caesar pasta. Just so good, so good. I hope that this meal prep video did a little bit of the heavy lifting for you so you're not having to figure out what you're gonna be eating this week. Also remember that all of my recipes are linked down below in the description box. You just click on that Canva link and you can screenshot it, download it, it is yours. And yeah, that's gonna conclude this week's meal prep. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Also be sure to turn on your post notifications. That way you can be notified every time your girl drops a new video. And until next time, babes, I'll see you in my next.